Oishiso.
Ooh.
Oishi.
Oh, nice.
Kosuke, 好きな食べ物は何ですか?
Yeah, cheesesteak.
Cheesesteak.
Yeah. Yes, Philly cheesesteak. We use American beef ribeye, American cheese, provolone cheese, homemade cheese with sauce, homemade hoagie, homemade bread.
Me.
You make homemade?
Yeah. Every day.
これは何ですか?
Fresh mushroom and fried onion.
Everything was delicious.
Everything also. Yes. I am Kosuke Chujo. The restaurant's name Nihonbashi, Philly.
頑張って。
When I was younger, I listened Philadelphia music, soul music, and movie, and Philadelphia food. I opened Philly Tokyo restaurant 2011.
So I was a customer.
You were?
Yeah. I met in here. He wants my heart. Yeah. He has a passion. He wants to make a authentic cheesesteak like a Philadelphia.
Philadelphia のことを日本人はあまり知らないから、チーズステーキを通じて、うちの映像を見たりとか店内を見てフィラデルフィアのことを知ってもらえるっていうことはすごく嬉しいと思います。
There it is. I see an Eagles jersey.
It's nice to get a little piece of home, right?
Hello. はじめまして。私はマテオです。これは私の弟。
Yes.
です。
Younger brother.
ありがとうございます。
こんにちは。
注文お願いします。
はい。
フィラデルフィアチーズステーキ2つお願いします。
はい。チーズステーキ We imagine about cheesesteak. We thought it's like a more heavy food or something. So when I went the first time to Philadelphia, we surprised because the taste completely different. The bread is completely different.
Did you take notes?
Yes. You wanna see it?
Yes.
Before, everyone thought steak on cheese means a cheese steak. So now getting popular. And there's so many people coming to here eating cheese steak. So many Philadelphians living in Tokyo coming to here, and then they say like a home.
Feels like home to me. You know, I walk in here and I'm home.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, cheese steak.
いただきます。
いただきます。
乾杯。I'm home.
Oh.
Delicious. So our first sit-down meal in Tokyo is a Philly cheesesteak, and I cannot complain. What else do you love about Philadelphia?
My favorite store flower. Yeah, tomato pie, pretzel, Philadelphia Phillies, Eagles,
Go Bears.
yeah, Rice Harper, and Brandon Graham, Sixers, Flyers,
Gritty.
Gritty,
My love.
Rocky.
Especially Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky.
Actually, we are planning to go to Philadelphia again. Yeah, I'm gonna study bread.
Philadelphia Phillies game, and cheesesteak, cheesesteak, cheesesteak,
Cheesesteak.
There goes that news van again. For you?
Channel 6のだ Oh my gosh!
You're the big story.
You're the big story.
I I have the big story.
Love Foodie.
ごちそうさまでした。ありがとう。
The best part of running this restaurant, I love making our diners happy because they know that after 34 years, we are consistently delicious. My name is Henry Cerdas, and I am the second generation owner at Irazu Costa Rican restaurant. We are fortunate to be Chicago's first and only Costa Rican restaurant. Irazu has been around for 34 years. So we're the go-to restaurant. After you've gone to those a la mode restaurants, they come back to us because they know that after 34 years, we are consistently delicious.
My name is Miriam Cerdas. I'm the original owner of the restaurant.
There was a for sale sign for this building, and she insisted on my dad. She's like, I want to open up a business here. But the first 5 years were extremely tough. She worked 16-hour days, 6 days a week.
My chef was me.
The way I got started, as my parents started aging, they were considering selling, and I insisted upon taking over. What I have learned from both mom and dad is that in America, the American dream is only possible through hard work.
Too hard work, yeah.
The number one dish on our menu is called el casado. Casado means marriage. You have a choice of protein. Costa Rican rice is called gallo pinto, which means spotted rooster, a unique cabbage salad, and then the over easy egg. It's absolutely exquisite. The other menu item that most of our patrons enjoy and goes well with a Costa Rican beer is called el chifrijo. Chifrijo is chicharrón and frijoles. When you have a slice of Irazu's Caribbean rum cake, you could savor the deliciousness of Costa Rica's rum.
I like the cinnamon.
Prior to Irazu, mom and dad, before they go to bed, Pops would say, he calls her Chola, he's Chola, make me an avena, make me an oatmeal. She made it more as a shake. That became one of Chicago's most iconic drinks. Pura vida is the mantra of Costa Rica. It means pure life, but it's our mantra. It's the way we live our life. It's an attitude. We are part of a community. We are part of Bugtown. We're part of Chicago. We are Chicago's unique Costa Rican restaurant, and we kind of hold a monopoly in the city. So we're very fortunate to be able to fulfill an unmatched American dream. And mom always says either stay the same or better, nothing less.
You're watching Bite Size Coast to Coast.
They bite into it, it's priceless.
Our concept here at Seven Tigers Pie Club, we wanted to create a pizza for LA. And so this has been a massive undertaking. We decided to have different cultural inspired toppings on a nice deep dish pizza.
New York, I think of like, oh, I'm just standing outside and grabbing like a floppy slice with cheese, right? But they do like a thicker, like pan crust, Detroit style fusion-y type pizza where it's got a nice chew, but also on a crispy edge on the outside.
We consider LA a cultural melting pot of people from all around the world, and that's how we kind of came up with our whole menu of the 7 different pizzas for Seven Tigers. The dough is the most important thing. We've been working on the dough for over a year and a half now, trying to get it perfected. And even when there's changes in the weather, we even have to make changes in the process of what we do.
I'm a pizza lover, but I've had a bunch of pizzas, a lot like from San Diego, whether it's from New York, but this one's like right consistency. Soft in the middle, doughy, really good, and then in the corners, crunchy, so it balances out.
You take a bite, you get a little bit of the cheese, you get a little bit of the sauce, a little bit of the bread, and it all combines together at the end.
Our gochujang pepperoni is one of our biggest sellers. You're going to not get a bite that does not have pepperoni inside. We have the El Pastor pizza as well, so we're bringing a little bit of the Hispanic vibe. Our signature item that we have built the entire concept on is actually going to be our grand short rib. So it's going to come out smoked in a dome, and then we plate it right there for you on the table.
I just moved here from New York, and I hadn't really had about a pizza that
really spoke to me. This is definitely up there now for us, for sure.
Like a New York pizza or a Chicago pizza, they have their like long history of tradition. Whereas LA, you don't really think of it as like a pizza town. But to me, it's like, oh man, LA is kind of really having a moment that's going on in the last several years.
We're back on Bite Size Coast to Coast.
Like, what are we gonna eat?
Tres leches with strawberries or with mango?
With mango.
Okay. This is a Peruvian and Latin bakery. This is the bestseller cake, which is the strawberry mango chantilly cake made with a fresh mango, strawberry, dulce de leche, and whipped cream. We make everything from scratch. We use high quality ingredients. I started with alfajores more than 20 years ago, and they're my mom and my grandmother's recipe. This is a tres leches strawberry mango cake. That is the second bestseller here at the store. We have more than 10 flavored tres leches. Cheesecakes, we have flavors like mango, coconut, guava. This is our passion fruit cheesecake made with passion fruit jelly that we make at the store. It is amazing. We make the dulce de leche here at the store. We put our own Latin twist to all the desserts that we make here at the store. Who doesn't love chocolate chip cookie? So these cookies are filled with dulce de leche, like 10 seconds in the microwave. They just start melting everything, and they're really good. This is our macaroons. So we have brownie, guayaba, dulce de leche, mango. Macaroons are not Peruvian, but the flavors, passion fruit, coconut, guava. We put our own Peruvian twist on this French dessert. And we have more than 15 flavors of macarons. We make tiramisu, but our tiramisu has tiramisu de lucuma, which is a Peruvian fruit, which is very delicious. Tres leches with strawberries, with mango. This is the 5 leches. It has dulce de leche, coconut milk, and chocolate. So here at the store, you're going to find all these tropical flavors into a very delicious dessert. Oh, this is the one with pisco. Pisco is similar to tequila. It has 40% of alcohol. Oh my God, that thing is really good. There is a lot of places here in Houston where you can get desserts. But if you want like the wow factor, you come to Sweets by Belén. Soy Belén Bailey. I am the owner of Sweets by Belén. Somos la casa más dulce del mundo en Houston. In my house in Peru, you have desserts every day. Alfajores are shortbread cookie filled with homemade gooey dulce de leche. Rico. And when I moved to America more than 20 years ago, I couldn't find all these desserts. So I started calling my mom, you know, how do you make alfajores? How do you make arroz con leche? How do you make flan? So my mom started telling me all her recipes. I started making alfajores for me first, but I started baking in college. I wasn't selling, I was just sharing my desserts with my friends. When I was a high school teacher, I started bringing desserts in the school for the other teachers. I started with this cookie for my coworkers. Once they try it, they love it. I was the cookie dealer in the school. And then I started getting some orders from local restaurants, and this is how all this sweet adventure started. And then I had like a food truck. Every day I posted on social media, you know, today I'm going to be in this farmer market, you know, Rice University, different places here in Houston. It was very fun. So that was the beginning of Sweets by Belén. My mom never wanted me to be a cook or a baker because my grandmother was a maid in Peru. My mom was very proud that I was a high school teacher in another country. I didn't tell anything to my mom. So when I opened the store, I just brought her so she can see. Of course, she wasn't really happy. She said, you know, you promised me that you were not going to work like your grandma, you know, in a kitchen. I don't want you to do that. It was sad, but she understood. Even though my mom, my dad, and my sisters don't live here with me, they're part of Sweets by Belén. This is suspiro limeño. It's a very Peruvian dessert. My mom with her recipes, my sister always sending me ideas. When we built this Sweets by Belén 8 years ago, my dad and my brother came to help me build this. You know, painting, ripping the carpet. The first 4 years of Sweets by Belén, it was tough because my background is not in business. I opened Sweets by Belén to pay homage to my mom and my grandmother for all the sacrifices they have made for my siblings and me. And in my mind, I couldn't fail. It have to work. So far, we have been in this corner for 8 years. The community has embraced us, and we really love it. In the future, I want to open more stores. This is a women-owned and 100% operated by women. And when Sweets by Belen succeed, it's because I have this amazing group of women behind us that make Houston sweeter.
Somos la casa más dulce del mundo en Houston. ¡Yeah!
We're back on Bite Size Coast to Coast.
It's really, really exciting.
So I would make fancy cookie dough, and I would freeze it and then give a bag to new moms or new neighbors. And that's how I was like, this is brilliant. This doesn't really exist out there right now, and it was really special. And I used to always joke with my friends in the city. They'd say, oh, how are you handling it out in the suburbs? And I'd be like, you know, I'm doing okay, but I do need that hit of dopamine to get me through the day. And that's sort of how I was like, wait a minute, cookie dough, dopamine, oh my gosh, I have something here. So I immediately Googled it, bought the domain like right there and then, and said, this is what I'm doing next. I am gonna come up with a cookie dough company called Dopamine. Dopamine is gourmet take and bake frozen cookie dough. All you do is pop it in the oven. 11 minutes later, you have gourmet cookies fresh out of the oven, and you can say you baked it yourself. I try to use as gourmet and premium ingredients as I did when I worked in fine dining. So the cocoa powder I'm using is the same cocoa powder that Thomas Keller uses. And I only know that because I ran out of it one time for my distributor. And they said, sorry, you and Thomas both ordered, and I had to give it to them. I decided to do frozen because then I didn't have to have any added preservatives, and I wanted a clean recipe. And then you can feel good about what you're eating. And also it extends the shelf life, so you can buy a bag and it lasts a year in the freezer. I launched with Rhapsody Road, which is kind of like Rocky Road, but Rocky Road is a bad time and Rhapsody Road is a good time. And then I also had the miso peanut butter, which was a recipe that I developed when I was the pastry chef at Morimoto in Napa, and people went crazy for it there. And now we launched a third flavor, blueberry corn. Blueberries and corn are actually a classic combination, so if you go to a fine dining restaurant, you'll frequently see blueberries and corn together on a dessert menu. I just translated it into a fancy cookie. Most cookies are just sweet, but these are balanced. So for example, the miso peanut butter is sweet, salty, and umami. It's touching 3 different flavor receptors on your tongue. So it's really a balanced, craveable cookie, but it doesn't feel too cloying. There's also a variety of textures. So I've also taken my R&D background and made something that's a little bit unique to the market. My mom was a fabulous cook. I grew up in Beulah, North Dakota, and there was not a lot to do. So I really dove into her cookbooks and Martha Stewart on TV, and we used to watch Iron Chef together all the time on the Food Network. I decided I wanted to go to culinary school when I was a junior in high school, and my dad was like, no. But my mom was like, I'm supportive of this. This is great. My brother-in-law sent me my very first cookbook called The Best Recipe, and he said that if I learned how to make creme brulee, which was bookmarked, I could live with him and my sister and go to culinary school rent-free. I learned how to make creme brulee. That was one of the first fancy desserts I learned how to make. And then I went to culinary school. I landed an internship with a master chef in France. It was a 1 Michelin star restaurant, and that's really what set me on my fine dining path. I worked for Wolfgang Puck, Jean Georges in New York, Morimoto in Napa. Then I became a Michelin inspector. As soon as I worked at a Michelin star restaurant for my internship, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a Michelin inspector. And I knew it was going to be a long shot, but I thought if I apply now, sometime there will be a position open during my lifetime, and I want that job to be mine. So I applied every single year until a position opened up, and I ended up getting the job. So it was amazing. I loved being a Michelin inspector. It was the greatest job ever. It was my dream job. But right around that time is when I started having children, and you're on the road all the time. You're traveling, you're in Europe, you're in Asia, you're all over the place. And it was really hard to do as a mother. So at a certain point, I realized this was not going to be sustainable for my family, and I had to call it quits. I'm sure as a lot of moms realize is you feel like you lose a little bit of your identity. And food and cooking and being a chef was my identity. So I was trying to think of a way that I could do both. How can I be a mom and also have this career, but really be there for my children? And so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna have to do it myself because I know that I can work and do everything I need to do and get my work done. I just need it to be on my own time, on my own schedule.
Miso peanut butter? Wow.
Got our miso peanut butter.
I'm addicted. This is so good. Thank you.
I have my short-term plan and my long-term plans and my long-term plans. And my short-term plan is I want to get out of the Bay Area with dopamine, so expand regionally throughout California, and then I want to grow nationally, and in 5 years I want it to be a household name, just like an Oreo, you have dopamine. And long term, we'll have to see where it goes. Part of the reason why I also started Dopamine was for my son Grayson. He's on the spectrum, and whether it's something that he works with me on, if he wants to later on, that could be great. Or else maybe we sell the company and it becomes a nest egg for him. And then you get your own little packet of Malden sea salt. Just sprinkle that on before baking. I feel like everyone deserves a sweet treat and everyone deserves a break, and not everyone has the time to bake cookies from scratch. But I want to bring that experience at home because I feel like everyone should have like a little break in their day and enjoy what they're eating.
What's your favorite spot to grab a bite or two? Tell us on social media.